Hola amigos!
Hey, what up?
We know it's been a while, so we're gonna probably cut and paste a lot of what's been going on. With the cold, you know, I have wanted to film some of our farm antics and our first legit winter having livestock and being on the farm, but it's not safe because there's ice everywhere. So we'll just tell you about it a little bit here and there and show y'all what we can. But right now, we are on our way to the Big D.
The Big D.
For delivering our Big E, the eggs. So it's pickup day. We're super excited. It's super cold, but we looked at the maps. We looked at TxDOT. It is going to get to 32. So hopefully the roads will be somewhat safe, but we're going to go slow. So for those of you that are our regular customers and new customers, shout out. Thank you. We really appreciate you. We're roughing it. We're taking the risk. We're taking the 4-wheel drive, and also that you can have your eggs.
That's right.
See y'all soon.
Right. What on earth? So we get back from Dallas. I go out to get eggs, and I see a bloodbath literally everywhere. And then I finally catch sight of Blondie, and half of her face. She's like Two-Face, as you can see. Half of her face is covered in blood. So I radio the woman of the house, the lady of the house, and we come inside and we bust out the oils, some curandera stuff. We wipe off some of the blood, and Blondie stayed inside. So we're thinking, you guessed it, Stanley must have pulled out one of those pin feathers, causing all the blood. It's always a joy coming back from Dallas.
Hola amigos.
Hey.
So it's a little chilly, obviously. I know y'all are experiencing the same thing we are. All the animals are doing great, just FYI. Lamanda Gorman is doing much better. She's responding well to the antibiotic. For those of you that didn't know, she was getting a little ill. We'll talk about that later. But
21.
So anyway, everybody's doing great. However, since we are getting consistent wetness and the winds are picking up, we want to make sure they're extra safe, especially because we've got lambs and one of them has been ill. We just want to make sure they're extra protected. They love their shelter and they choose to go in it when they want to, but you know, we just want to be extra cautious since one of them has been on the ill side. So we are going to convert our new lean-to area into a temporary pen for them so that we can put a heat lamp in the area for extra heat support, just because we're going to get to single digits. And it's just a sheep that we're going to move over here. The pigs still have their cozy shelter. They come out when they want to eat and they go back in. The chickens are loving their hay, so they're the ones we're going to focus on right now. So wish us luck, because obviously it's very Frio out here. And
I like how nobody can see your mouth.
Right.
You're just eyes.
It's like my mask. All right, guys. All right, so this is the before. So here's the front of the shed right here. Okay. This is the new lean-to. Grandpa, man of the house, did a great job. We've been storing the hay and straw and feed over here. We just put this tarp up right now because we were thinking how we were going to divide it. And so all this will stay over here. We're just going to use a little bit of space. They don't need a lot for coverage. This is the rest of the stuff we're storing. I don't know how we lived without these lean-tos. But yeah, this is our before. They're going to utilize this space right here for now. And they'll be a little bit closer to the house, so we'll be able to hear them. And then there's Goppo, of course. Everybody checking it out. Check out your new little space for the single-digit weather. What do y'all think? Please leave a comment card. Maggie, I know you love it. You love everything. Get your minerals. Good job. That's all. Let's go play.
Well, we made it.
Yay!
I know it's a little bit, we're sitting out on the porch. We're enjoying this lovely evening.
It's like spring.
It is.
Even though it's supposed to freeze tonight or get close to freezing again.
I was sweating today. What's up with that? Oh. Anyway, well, it was quite the week. Mentally, physically, everybody made it.
Yay!
And, you know, that was kind of, everybody made it.
Through the storms.
Through the storms.
Through the blizzards, yes.
One didn't quite make it, but that's because he's an asshole.
Yeah, we'll do another video on that one. But for the most part, pretty proud of ourselves.
Yeah.
Not bad for a bunch of city folk that turned farmer, rancher. We just celebrated our first year of living out here.
We did.
This last week, actually. So, you know, we went from just us two to 43 animals.
43 animals.
Plus us.
Yeah.
And all survived the storm.
Uh-huh.
Minor frostbite on some of the chickens that have the larger combs. Like Stanley got some frostbite on the tips of his.
Yeah.
Nothing that won't, you know, heal. He's not going to get sick. You know, we'll keep an eye on those types of things. Some of the gals have smaller combs than others, so they're fine. No major feet issues or signs of issues. The pigs did awesomely. You know, as long as they had their little shelter and their little cover, they were happy as can be. They looked like they were getting maybe a little frostbite. Their skin got kind of dark reddish instead of just pink. But, you know, we gave them extra bedding, and luckily the temperature started to turn around. Pretty much they can be cold, but they can't be cold and wet. So as long as we kept them dry, everybody, you know, was going to be in good shape. All the sheep did wonderfully. They thought, I mean, you couldn't have told that it bothered anybody except for Lamanda Gorman. So we mentioned it earlier. So before the storm hit, Lamanda wasn't feeling too well. She was lifting up her right leg and she didn't want to put weight on it. And then she would lift up her left leg. And this was all about maybe a week before the storm came. So we started looking into it, and what we could narrow down is it might be something called navel ill or joint ill. And essentially, when she was born, she was the only one born in really bad conditions where it was actually raining and wet and cold and gross. When her mama, Blanca, went to clean her up, she actually didn't clean the umbilical cord fast enough, maybe. And we kind of noticed it because we're watching it dangle. So I think that exposure and dragging and the nasty and the wet and the mud and everything, she might have picked up a bacteria. That's usually how it happens. And it won't present itself for about 3 weeks, and lo and behold, at the time Lamanda was 3 weeks old. So
it won't present itself as navel ill. It'll present itself as joint ill if they're older, which is what we think it is. So basically, the bacteria migrates to the joints, and she came up lame.
So we treated her with an antibiotic first, and she responded well to that, but she wasn't 100%. And then we were finally able to get a large animal vet to get on the phone with us because they won't see anybody. One, they're too busy. Two, sheep aren't high priority. It's more like horses and stuff that they care about. So luckily someone was on the phone with us and she recommended some vitamins. So we started doing that as well, subcutaneously. So we got to use our trainings and use needles and whatnot, and did pretty good. And she responded really well with that. So this is Sunday. So as of today, she is actually walking very comfortably on all legs. She's eating more. She had put on weight, so that was never a concern. And really, she didn't have a lot of symptoms. So that was really hard for us to determine because nothing was swollen, nothing was red. You know, she didn't have a fever, etc. And so, yeah, But anyway, so Lamanna's doing great, so we're very excited. And Wapple is still annoying as ever. He was living his best life. He loved the snow and ice. He wanted to sleep on it.
He was living for those bricks of ice that were coming out of the troughs. Do you
ridiculous.
mind?
So, here we are. We survived. We thrived.
We did.
Our first winter was a crash course on learning how to do everything. We had rolling power outages. We did not lose water. We lost a little bit of pressure for a few hours one day, but that was it. We are on boil notice, as everybody else is. And yeah, we're just really fortunate. We had the gas on the stove, so all we had to do was boil water, and it heated up the house whenever the power was out. And had lots of blankies. So yeah, we were really, really fortunate, very grateful. The whole experience was, it was a learning lesson for us, and we took it in stride just like we did anything with Cheapy. Definitely felt like Cheapy was with us, guiding us, and said, hey, y'all are ready for this, because I put y'all through something similar before. And so, yeah, that's about it, I think.
And thank goodness for all the things that we had built all year long, including the last lean-to that we put up 2 weeks ago, the weekend right before the storm hit. So if it wasn't for everything that we had created, all the infrastructure, we would be in a much different situation. So very feeling proud of ourselves for sure. So, but wintertime definitely takes a different feeling.
Yes.
When you're worried about a whole bunch of animals freezing to death.
So when we lost power, when we used to live in Richardson, we were able to put sheets up, and for those of you who remember our house, that drop down living area, we were able to sheet off one of the openings and then close the doors to the other opening and start the fireplace and hunker down in there. And it was great. And the biggest worry we had was electricity because of Cheapy's equipment. And so, but we knew also, we could just go somewhere else and plug in if we had to. So it was more of like, hey, let's just get around the fire and stay warm and read and hang out. And
let's camp out.
And isn't winter great? And now winter is still taking care of loved ones, just a lot more of them.
Right.
And it is definitely more literally life and death. Like, if you don't do your job right, they're not going to make it, but they are so resilient. And so we were very grateful for that, because we were just, learning as we go.
Yeah.
So, winter isn't as fun as it used to be. When you have livestock, it's no longer just, ooh, let's go play in the snow. How lovely. It's, oh crap, how much snow is there? And what do I have to do? What's frozen and what do I have to thaw out?
I mean, there's a little bit of playing in the snow with Gappo, but
he does all the playing for us.
Yeah. It's a lot more worry. It was a mentally taxing week as well.
Yes.
Even though everything came out okay, it was mentally taxing because we were thinking about what was going on every day. We had to truck water out to everybody, so.
Were the chicks warm?
We
brought them in the house.
We had to bring them inside. The chicks. But all in all, very pleased, very proud. It's been a good week. Hope you're making it. Know a lot of you are without power as well, but thankfully it's come back.
And water.
Hopefully
your water comes back soon.
Yeah. So
that's it.
With that,
that's it for now. We've got a few more videos we know what we have up our sleeve to update you on, just more randomness that we're doing, but they deserve a little bit more attention because they're kind of cool. So we'll highlight those. A little teaser. We did throw our 4-week and 5-week-old chicks out in the freezing temperatures on purpose, and they loved it. Yeah. Now, this one is like all him. Like legit homesteading, research, yeah, it was really cool because nobody should ever do that unless. So, yeah, stay tuned for that one.
Stay tuned. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.